Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you all my favorite hero, Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for post-Battles of Legends, Terminal Revenge. The favorite hero deck is a deck that focuses on the new Wing Kuriboh level 6 monster, providing backup for more of a generic elemental hero deck, using some of Jaden's favorite monsters mixed in with some of the better hero support to perform these fusion summons with all of the many different elemental hero monsters we have in the extra deck. The Wing Kuriboh level 6 is an awesome addition, just being able to count it as an elemental hero monster and use it for that setup, with its name being Wing Kuriboh as well, with some of the other cards in the deck. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the main deck monsters for the new Kuriboh. We're running 3 copies of Wing Kuriboh, level 6. This card's always treated as an elemental hero and favorite card, and it cannot be normal summon or set. It must be special summoned from your hand or graveyard by banishing 1 elemental hero fusion monster or 1 Wing Kuriboh from your hand, face up on the field or graveyard. You can only special summon Wing Kuriboh level 6 once per turn this way. When an opponent's monster declares an attack or your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, quick effect, you can this card, destroy that 1 monster, and then inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack. So this card is very similar in playstyle setup to the Wing Kuriboh level 10, being able to then inflict damage to your opponent by destroying that attack position monster as well, for being able to use that monster that declared an attack, just like the Wing Kuriboh level 10 would have when summoned onto the field. So you use Wing Kuriboh level 6 in tandem with the fact that it is a elemental hero monster, so it is searchable with emergency call, and being able to be made use of with some of the other cards in the deck by just being able to even be counted as a elemental hero monster to begin with, to then be able to summon out some of our more generic options for the hero monsters also. For the original hero lineup, 1 copy of Avion, Burstinatrix, Sparkman, and Clayman as well, just so we can go into some of the generic fusions that Jaden also used in the original series. We have access to the variety of them with the fusions available to us with these cards in the deck. If you wanted to add any other elemental hero monsters and change up the extra deck, you could potentially drop down the number of Wing Kuriboh level 6 that you run in the deck to lower numbers, since it can be special summoned back from the graveyard as well, by just being able to special summon it from your hand by banishing an elemental hero monster or Wing Kuriboh from your hand, face up on the field or graveyard. So as long as you have those resources, you can always bring back the Wing Kuriboh level 6. So if you want to add in cards like Blade Edge or Wild Heart, you could always replace the Wing Kuriboh level 6 for additional numbers for those cards. And also the 3 copies of Elemental Hero Blazeman. Polymerization is a big use of fusion in this deck, so being able to use this card just to add polymerization is an added plus for sure, with the deck being able to make use of that effect, and then also being able to use this card for its other effect if you don't use the polymerization search, to send an Elemental Hero monster from your deck to the graveyard, except for Blazeman, and this card's attribute, attack and defense each become the same as that monster, so adjusting it for some of the other fusions you may want to go for. I also run 3 copies of Elemental Hero Stratos for the search power you have when this card is summoned. You can summon it off of a hero's live, or if you have other hero monsters, destroy spell and traps that your opponent control also. I also run 2 copies of Elemental Hero Solid Soldier for more special summon resources from our hand onto the field. We do run some of the Hero Link monsters to be able to help with more of the generic monster setup in the deck. So 2 Hero Soldier helps just for being able to build up the field for that Link summon. And lastly, 2 copies of Elemental Hero Liquid Soldier, being the water attribute monster that we run in the deck. So we do have the option for Absolute Zero to go into with the extra deck also. And that's it for the main deck monsters. Moving on now to the spells. 3 copies of the Emergency Call. The standard, it's not a once per turn search, so you can add multiple hero monsters that you need from your deck to your hand. Wing Kuriboh level 6 also counts as an elemental hero monster, so you can add this off of Emergency Call if you wish. The 3 copies of A Hero Lives, being able to pay half your life points for you to then be able to add, or not add, but special summon an elemental hero monster from your deck, so you can search out Stratos or any of the other monsters that you want for this benefit. And what works very, very well, and for the fact that this is a favorite hero deck, we also run 3 copies of Generation Next. If your life points are lower than your opponent's, add to your hand or special summon 1 elemental hero monster, Kuriboh monster, or Neospatian monster from your deck or graveyard with attack less than than or equal to the difference in life points. Also, for the rest of this turn, you cannot activate card or effects or with the same name as that card. So this gives you access to your hero or Kuriboh monsters. Having a Lowe's attack as level Kuriboh level 6 has, you can summon it quite easily with the difference not needing to be too much, but if you use a hero lives and you have your life points, there's a good chance that your life points will be a huge chunk compared to that, so you'll be able to use Generation Next just to help with that special summon. And also the 2 copies of Miracle Fusion as well. We do run our Elemental Hero Sunrise as a Miracle Synchro Fusion, or Miracle Fusion search, just needing 2 monsters with different attributes to summon out our Sunrise, and then being able to use the Miracle Fusion and the same monsters we may use with Polymerization to summon out Sunrise to then go for another fusion. And also, I run the 2 copies of Favorite Hero. You equip only to a level 5 or higher hero monster. If you control a card in your field zone, the equipped monster gains attack equal to its original defense. Also, your opponent cannot target it with card effects. At the start of the battle phase, you can activate 1 field spell directly from your hand or deck. You can only use this effect of Favorite Hero once per turn. When the equipped monster attacks and destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can send this card to the graveyard, and the attacking monster can make a second attack in a row. So more damage to be dealt, but also being able to set up our field spell for added power for our hero monsters in the form of Skyscraper is what I like to run in this deck as well. If you wanted to try Chicken Game, that was more of a competitive point to make for that card, but still, sticking to the hero theme is why I decided to run Skyscraper instead. And also 3 copies of Polymerization. It's searchable with Blazeman, but still you want as multiple fusion options as possible. So this, along with Miracle Fusion, should be fine for you to run in the deck. With the one-ofs for our spells being the 1 Ian Shuffle, just another way to swap out some hero monsters we have on the field for different ones. Reinforcements in the army, once again to search a wide variety of warrior monsters in the deck. Call by the Grave to stop any of our opponent's hand traps or graveyard monster effects. And the 1 Monster Reborn for once again special summoning back resources from our graveyard to reuse again. And then the last of these spells, just 2 copies of Pot of Prosperity. Sometimes you just need to grab that one specific card from the top of your deck. So depending on what that one card might be, you can use Prosperity for that and just banish a couple hero monsters that you may know that you're not going to be able to go into during this game. And then as for the extra deck monsters, 1 copy of Elemental Hero Flame Wingman, Infernal Rage. This is the, I would say, newly made form of the original Flame Wingman. So we have this option along with the original in the deck to use. You can both use Avian and Burstinatrix to make both of these cards. But for more generics, we also have the Thunder Giant along with the Rampart Blaster and the Shining Flare Wingman. All these variety of different heroes can be swapped out depending on the hero monsters you're running in the spots I mentioned before that you may want to go into, but also the 1 Wake Up Your Elemental Hero, the 1 Elemental Hero Absolute Zero, the 1 Elemental Hero Gaia, Nova Master, and Escuridao. The Escuridao you can summon, you have the Infernal Devicer monster to go in for your link summon, so then to have it used as a fusion material for Escuridao as well, with the last of our fusions being the 1 copy of Elemental Hero Sunrise as the Miracle Fusion Search, and then also having the attack gain, where basically monsters you control getting 200 attack for each attribute you control. You can always use the following effects. When an attack is declared involving a hero monster, you can target a card on the field and destroy it as well, making Sunrise one of the bigger powerhouses to use in the deck also. With our link monsters being 2 copies of Infernal Devicer, being able to add our normal monsters off of this card just by revealing that card and then adding those 2 specific monsters to our hand from our deck. And then the 1 Wonder Driver and the 1 Dread Decimator is more of a power-up and then a recycle option for Polymerization also, or Miracle Fusion. And then as for some of the go-to plays in the deck, hero setup is a big part of what to make use of for your Winged Kuriboh level 6. So if you use your fusion play, depending on the hero monsters you have in your hand, you can even go for the summon of Elemental Hero Stratos and then use this card to add your Winged Kuriboh level 6 to your hand. And then you'll just need the Polymerization to be able to fuse with one other card you have to then be able to go into the fusion of choice on the field. And then from there, you'll have your 2 monsters in the graveyard to then be able to banish off for the Winged Kuriboh. You'll have the additional monster effects you may want to use when they're in the graveyard also. But banishing that 1 hero monster to summon out your Winged Kuriboh makes it so your opponent kind of has to move around either the effects of the hero monster you have on the field on top of the Winged Kuriboh monster as well. And then when you go for that option to tribute this card, to destroy that card and inflict damage to your opponent, you have the other hero monster in your graveyard the following turn to be able to banish and then also then summon this card back onto the field to then use again. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, this was just a quick little fun deck that I wanted to update for the new Wing Kariba level 6 that we had received. But as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.